Welcome to a Pontiac video. It's Wednesday, which is not normally Pontiac video day, but Harlan's still not feeling well, and I don't want to get sick. So, to catch you up, I mapped out and then soldered our pot. I'm doing knobs right now, which is why I was like, oh, I need to shoot a video. If you wondered, why did I have those holes cut in there? Well, that's because those are the holes you use when you're putting these together. So if you stick that in there, that'll push against this plate. And then you can take a jaw and pull it in because you want it all the way down. Now these stainless ones, they're a tight fit. The steel ones I've tried, and you know, they're not too bad. The stainless just isn't as giving, I guess. But yeah, it's a snug fit. It's gonna look good though. Pretty happy. So you can see all of this stuff is working. That's hard to do by finger, but with any luck I may be able to get that turned on and programmed. We'll see. The other thing is I do now have this guy for them to try on Sunday. And see, it gives you an awful lot of wiggle. Boy, it locks down really good. So it needs a little cleanup on this one edge. It's kind of sharp, but I don't know if this is the shape they want. So I'm not going to put a lot of time into it until we're certain. I think it's pretty close to a final. I'm pretty happy with it. Also, it's sturdy. It's very, very sturdy. So I think this is all going to work out. But I just may be able to get in here and play a little bit. Just like that, I think this is done. So that all works. You can see that works, and you can see it's moving its little slider. But the biggest thing is, so we're in off, and you can see that it broke that contact right there. If I push floor, see, so now we've made our contact. So this relay will click. So then we'll have power going to the whole system. Now I went to floor, which is our highest one, and then okay, let me change hands here. So now we'll go blend, de-ice, blend back again, and then down to the dash. And then when we go to off again, you'll see, well, if I stay on off, that happens. Now, either of these two positions will turn off power to the system. But, you know, you could just leave that on low. Leave it on the dash, which honestly is probably where it's mostly going to spend its life. And, you know, it's going to work pretty slick, I think. Getting closer. I got some wiring stuff I got to do before I can really play with it, though. Okay, for better for worse, we're fixing to try this. So, we were supposed to do this out on the bench, but that wasn't possible because we had to have the radio. But you'll notice I didn't find the right bezels, so I just have a temporary on there to hold it. Also, I had to change an arm. Wasn't expecting that. It barely touched, but it did touch the Dakota. So, it says right here to insert the calibration key as shown. So, when we get our calibration key, which is a little LED, and probably something shorted out to say, hey, this is where we go. And LED is up. Okay, so. Okay. We are in the position that it said. We have our water valve. We're in off, floor, and cold, because that's what it says right here. Okay, now for temporary power, I've just got my little lithium battery pack here. So I'm going to turn it on, put it in its magic mode. Okay, and then it said from 14 to 15, move fan knob to high. Well, let's see what happens. Okay, we're in high. I will see an LED, it says. Well, I don't see an LED. Okay. So, what did we forget to do? Let's investigate. This will be just a second. I'm sure I forgot a ground or something. It's going to be something stupid like that. For now, I'm going to turn that back off. Okay. So, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, I don't know if you remember the relays that we put in there. The little sockets on the back, but we're probably going to want to have them installed. That happens sometimes. So let me see if I can figure that out. They're not as conveniently located as I would prefer, but they do the job. Okay, there's one. And there's the other. So that probably goes a long way. We'll find out. Maybe, maybe not. So let's turn on our pack. Put it in emergency override. Okay. Come back around to the instructions. All right. So, okay, gotta have relays. That matters. So once again, when I turn it to high, I'm supposed to see an LED turn on, off, and on. Oh, geez, that's a long car. Hey, I got a blink, an LED that turned on, off, and on. We got a fan, and it is coming out the floor. Okay. So, now, move knob to dash in one motion. Okay, LED went off and back on. Move temp knob to hot in one motion. LED will go off and back on. Okay, LED is back on. Okay, you'll be able to hear some doors move. Back and forth. Okay. Okay, the doors are moving. You can feel air coming out of different outlets. So it's blinking, it's doing stuff. It's doing some floor stuff. Okay. And then I'm supposed to wait till the LED turns off, it says. Okay, yeah, it's still doing some stuff. It's finding its end caps, I think. LED is off. Okay, so it says move the knob to off, which we just did. Remove the calibration stick. Maybe. That comes out really difficult. Okay, so we removed our calibration key. I hope you can see this, but they give you some pretty nice instructions. I wish the one for the Impala was as nice as this. Okay, so now we're going to, now that we've removed the key, we're going to move the knob to high and dash. So we're in dash. Go back to high. Okay. And it says I should feel them out of the dash vents. Okay. Floor. Let's go to the froster. Right here. Floor. Floor. Definitely floor there. Working, but I think we'll do one more calibration, and instead of skipping this time, maybe I'll go and go down. One of the things I want to know is, okay, right now we're in heat, and I can see through the heater core. Now I'm going to go to cold. Didn't close. Yeah. So, something fishy going on there. We were expecting that to close. Yeah, I'm screwed in right, so. Okay. Alright, I think at this point, we tested our off. It worked. Let's go back to floor. So I'm going to do it one more time and see if stepping through gives me better results. So give me a moment. Okay, and a little bitter twist of irony, I went through all their instructions, figured out, you know, which side was dash, which side was floor, which side was cold, which side was hot, sorted all that out, and they're backwards. So to prove it to myself, because I couldn't get the water valve to work and the doors didn't seem to work, I just went through a cowl backwards, you know, so floor is dash and dash is floor, hot is cold and cold is hot. Something I can fix in wiring pretty shortly. I mean, you know, it's not the end of the world. However, now, see, I've got, let's go to the defrost. And boom, I've got air out of the defroster. Let's go, that's supposed to be floor, but that's actually gonna be dash. Look at that, air out of the dash. It says it's hot, but the water valve is closed. Let's open that. And look at that, the water valve is open. So these key up exactly the opposite of what the instructions said. So it all works. I've just got to resolder some wires. It's not the end of the world. We spoofed this. This is amazing. I am very, very happy that I figured this out. So yeah, just got to swap some wires. Not the end of the world. Oh, and all the buttons work. Watch. If I go here, turn it back on, go to off. Boom, it's off. Now it's working. I'm super stoked. So, yeah, and here it goes. Now it's coming out the defroster because that's what we pushed. So, yeah, my notes here of what they say and what they say elsewhere in their manual, it's backwards. What do you do? Honestly, it was a 50-50 shot anyway. So, let me take you off the tripod here so you can see. And yeah, I couldn't find the bezels, so I've just got a temp on there for now. So it'll come back out. I'll swap those wires. It's not the end of the world. Because even though it'd be easy enough to swap them here, then if we ever replace a harness, it won't work, or if a computer goes bad or something. So we'll just pull it down and swap them. It's not the end of the world.